about Noah Webster.
One of us said this is our land, and two of us said this is land, and three of us said this is our land, and we all in a circles holding hands, and four of us said this is our land, and five of us said this is our land, and six of us said this is our land, and we all in a circles holding hands, and seven of us said this is our land, and eight of us said this is our land, and nine of us said this is our land, and we all in the circles holding hands, and 10 of us said this is our land, and 11 of us said this is our land, and 12 of us said this is our land, and we all in the circles holding hands, and
But and you people can't. It's like we always count out the fact that everybody in majority is ignorant
said
to
this
what
is
they
our
agreeing to. You know what I'm saying? Once they have a child, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not like you can go back and be like, "Mom, did you know you signed me over to the government?" You can't do that, man. My mama dead.
Right. Oh,
You know
yeah, I
what I'm
can.
saying?
I did it. I told my mom straight up. She like, where you get this information from?
Why I said?
Like I said,
No,
what up, what up, what up?
but they all put that together though. You know what I'm saying? Like it all became like a real corporation when you look at how it developed. Because each one of these states then become a real state into the 1800s. So,
yeah.
you have to really realize this stuff, for them folks that been regurgitating for years, when they created in the early 1900s, that African American studies, that was the question I asked Sonetta. Like, will you please tell me who created that academia for the
The
West?
African American shit.
Studies, right. So
Oh,
yeah, so Melville Scovers and Frank Boas, all of them. That
I
was in the
thought I
Chicago.
thought it was wait. Who are those guys? Because I've heard their names, but I don't even know who them dudes is.
Melville Hiscovics. He's a Germ.
Right? Yeah, he
He's a
sound German.
Jewish. Yeah, he's a German Jew who was studying in the Chicago Institute. Right, that they created this shit. Frank Boas was his teacher. So as they was doing that, that's when you got W. E. Du Bois or Du Bois. All
Hmm.
of them was grabbing all these black people or native people to create an academia to sell off into what you call the black or the HBCUs, historically black colleges,
Shit.
because there was nothing but agriculture schools. So you didn't have no motherfucking like high school and all that kind of stuff. All you had was agriculture schools, trade schools. So now you had to start asking yourself the question: where did all this breakup come into play? Where they started having kindergarten, which symbolically, that's saying basically a kind of a garden. So what you do with that is you plant seeds
Cultivated.
in people. You
Right.
cultivate a
Okay.
lot.
I did. I
You
ain't
got
got man. Look, shout out to Carl, bro. He be he'll help you see some shit that you never seen before. Like when you said it, I never really paid attention to it until you just said it. It took you to say it for me to be like, oh shit, they're cultivating things. They're planting seeds.
Yeah, it's a garden. It's a first grade of it through a
Yep.
12th grade of it.
Fire.
And then I'm going to give you more of it when you go to college. You know what I'm saying? So again, a lot of these things didn't happen that long ago. And they like I got
So the
Garfield
college of
said,
William and Mary, ain't that allegedly the first American college like on
yeah,
the
that was in
soil?
the 1700s.
All right, so I went to that school, right? Now, I ain't attended. I meant like I went to the site and shit like
Hmm.
that. Y'all know that school little as fuck. Like
Right. It was
it was
George
little as
Washington.
hell.
He got taught by a tutorer, bro. He didn't go to high school.
So all right, so with that being said, do y'all you got some some knowledge on how the school system used to go? Cause that's something that I ain't never ever gave thought to. Like
Homeschool.
Was them niggas in kindergarten?
It was home.
You
Yeah,
know
it
what
was
I'm
home.
saying?
It was tutoring because they, according to the so-called ancestry.com, my second great granddaddy and my my first great granddaddy and my second great granddaddy, they only had a third grade education. Now we talking about men that was born. One was born in 1870. Okay, school wasn't even popping off then like that.
Right,
So
right.
how
It was
you get a
I know.
third grade and you
that
still be a
brought into
slave
the
at the
school
same time?
system.
Well, maybe they modified it for contemporary understanding, and in reality, he probably has a university fucking education.
I can let me give you another spin. How about that? You can't really teach an adult academia like that. They don't pick up as quick. So let me start them off young and let me revise my tactics because now I need to get them young to make it easier to teach them later on.
Oh,
And it
I
was
see.
So,
Okay.
so yeah,
the
that's
Rothschilds that in what do you call it, invested in the school system.
right.
So let
The
me ask you a
eugenics
Oh,
question.
program and all of that.
naturally,
Yeah,
they don't
okay.
put real
Now,
deliverance
if
European.
it's the Rothschilds that basically invested in the school system, do you think those people would want you to know anything,
Absolutely
or would
not.
they be dropping pure lies, making sure the curriculum is bullshit, so that you're looking over there instead of here
That's
because they
correct.
want your shit here?
Correct. And they install fear to keep you from thinking outside of that ice box.
That's right.
So, that's why they call in the South the Bible Belt. Belt is an intimidator. And so that was the main thing. You study the European steps and how they go about conquering people. They use their religio, which is the bind in into control. They use that first and foremost because they knew we was somewhat spiritual. So they had to come in that
Absolutely.
God sense to get our guards to drop, you know. So we had to really understand these people's movements, man. And
I
that
remember. I
education.
remember. I remember when I was in school and they still had the strap, right?
Yeah, the
And
paddle.
I got in trouble for like having a fight, right? And we were like the first kid went into the principal's office and he got the strap. I heard him like crying and getting the strap, right? And I remember walking into the principal's office and he looked at me and he's like, "So why were you fighting?" I said, "Because he called me a nigger." And then he had the strap on his belt. And I looked at him, I said, "You lick me, I'm gonna lick you back." And I was like straight
Fuck,
from yard.
fuck you talking about,
Mm-hmm.
nigga.
I looked at him and with a hardcore, I said, "Yo, lick me, me, I
Nah,
gonna lick you."
I
And he looked
feel
at
you.
me and like, he looked at me like this little kid's gonna beat my ass.
But
Yeah.
shit, I'm gonna have to work for this one. You know what I'm saying?
he,
Right.
he just basically said to me, um, just don't fight anymore. You know what I mean? And just let me out because I knew for a fact, like we've had this little game me and my brother played. It's called last lick, right? If I lick you, you lick back, and then the
We used,
last lick,
yeah, we used to play that too.
Right.
Right.
Everybody can play that shit.
right? So
Last
I
league,
made
yeah.
sure that the teacher knew, the principal knew that, yo, you lick me, I'm gonna lick you back, straight up. He looked at me like he was
Right.
scared, straight up, because I was not gonna take it. No way.
Hey, just to let y'all know, man, we live on Periscope and Twitter, y'all. So
Oh
we
wow, Periscope.
yes, yep,
Bet.
yeah. So we doing it. We on YouTube and Periscope at the same time. So we finna start going into other markets as well. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
So are you
Cool.
on tribeup right now on
What
YouTube?
up, world?
No, no,
What
we
up,
on we
world?
on Periscope and
I don't know what that is.
okay.
Periscope is just like an
How
app,
you just do it? You
kind of
more
sort of
It's a
like
younger
just a
generation.
live app.
Yeah, it's
you
more.
Yeah,
It's
it's just a live app.
yeah,
you taking it to the world.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's
It's
up, world?
it's more younger kids too.
Aboriginals.
But our channel's done too. So we just doing some little touch ups.
Hey, what a boy Lex at, man. Lex one on.
I don't know. He might be in the chat. I don't know.
Nah, I ain't see him. Oh wait, you mean? Oh yeah, you fucking around. Yeah,
So
Lex.
you gotta be a member on Periscope to get that.
Yeah, you just log in with your Gmail though.
Okay.
Log in with you. We at Aboriginal News. Tribe up at
The
Tribe
new
up.
dictionary of thoughts.
Yeah, it be some racist bastards in Periscope too, boy. I be frying they ass up. They don't come in my chat room.
Well, that's because right, that shit is open to the public. So if a motherfucker click on your shit, you don't know who it might be that's watching you.
Yeah, but they don't come in my chat room though, boy. I used to air their ass out.
Hey though, dig this right. So I ain't gonna lie. I think Mark Twain was a Tony Moore or some shit, right? Cause um in Life on the Mississippi, bro, the first shit 3 chapters, he talking about history and that was going on in Europe at the same time that motherfuckers was coming over here, exploring the Mississippi River, right? So one thing that Dane had mentioned that I didn't forget, and I was planning on trying to piece together like he did. He was saying that they basically motherfuckers had to use the Mississippi River to get over here and actually make it on land. But my thing is this though: how is it that you know they ran into the Indians on the East Coast and they went east instead of going, I don't know, east and west at the same time? Like why wasn't doing expeditions
They didn't
going
really
towards the
go.
west?
They didn't really go west until the Homestead Act, bro.
No, right. That's what we told, right? But this is
Yeah.
what I'm saying. If I went into the history of the dude Rene Robert Cavalier. Um, he got some other French title, but that's his name. So he was the one who allegedly, like, actually went down the Mississippi. Like, it's another dude who set eyes on it allegedly in history, but this guy Rene Robert Cavalier is the one who actually went down the Mississippi from the top to the bottom, and he encountered the Indians or whatever. And when he was encountering the Indians, they didn't kill him. Like, they didn't try to kill him. It was later on he gets killed. Like, but it was by his crew. It wasn't by the Indians.
So then you have to put it together. Most of the people that were here running shit at the time were all swarthy,
Okay.
right?
Uh huh.
A lot of people, a lot of remember, you go okay, go over to Egypt right now.
He
What do you see?
he was
Light skin. You
he
see,
actually had
hold on.
land.
No, but you what do you see in Egyptian walls? You see them scratching out and putting in
The
lighter
light skinned
skin,
motherfuckers.
right? Down in South America, they're doing the same thing. So what do you think they're doing in history? They're whitewashing history. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
I ain't gonna lie. I apply that. I ain't getting that for for Renee. What's going on with how they whitewashing that?
Well, like I said, Benjamin Franklin, 1751,
They
right?
operate. They operate like that. Yeah.
Well, all right. So look, this was in the 16th century. This is the mid 16th century. I think it's exactly 1531 or some shit. I'll have
Well,
to look it up.
they were 16. I think 16 was what do you call it? They were having uh problems with the Pequots, right?
Right, and I kept that in mind because I was like, nah, wait a minute. Christopher Colombo was over here. That nigga was over here. So you know what I'm saying? That's why I was like, wait a minute. You sailed down the whole Mississippi and did nobody kill you? Hmm.
Mm.
Cause he was I read into the story. This ain't in Life on the Mississippi. You have to read the separate story. It's just the guy's name comes up in the book. And I
Mm-hmm.
brought up the book because he named several people and a couple of expeditions and time periods or whatever. So, if y'all ain't got that book, look into that book, Life on the Mississippi. Literally the preface I think holds some information. So I don't know.
Well, the way they
Haven't
took
read the
over,
book no further. I'm on the fourth chapter.
the way they what do you call it, took over, they had to go and all the way to the Netherlands, right, to do the Treaty of Ghent between themselves, right, to basically take over the waterways. And then
Yeah,
the Treaty
yeah.
of Paris was to take over the business.
And they did that
Yes.
through France. Basically, Robert Rene is the one
There you go.
who basically mapped out all the waterways.
There's another treaty too, man. There was some dirty treaties right there.
Oh
What
yeah,
the what? I remember we went over there.
Uh,
That's dirty.
Matter of fact,
Let me pull them up.
yeah. Even you can even read the accounts of where they got off on the boats, and then the priest that because they had to have priests with them to sanctify the land and shit and claim it or whatever. And so with the Pope, what decree was out by then? Like I'm gonna just say the 1500s.
in the
Was
1500s.
versus is still the paper they was going off of, or that's later?
Yeah, the Papal Bull,
Okay,
Doctrine of Discovery,
yeah,
Damned Versus,
okay, yeah,
and,
okay, yep.
what was that other one?
Because that's right before they actually start coming to the Americas.
Yeah. Hold on.
But all right, so look, going back to the theory that they used in Mississippi, right? Because allegedly they couldn't come across the Atlantic in no wooden boat, right? But I thought the Spanish specifically built galleons, and the galleon is you know a large ship, right? The Spanish galleons next to the Chinese junks was the biggest ships in those times, right?
And the Chinese junks wouldn't, even though they were big, they basically just used them over there,
Yeah. They never like.
and
Well,
they
they
would,
don't say nowhere in history the motherfuckers came this way.
and they were,
Um,
yeah. Well, they have them. They say they have them. What do you call it? A large fleet came over here way before Christopher Columbus.
I mean, I ain't putting it past none of them motherfuckers, cause you know, um,
But even at that time,
you can't say everybody sat their ass down and stayed on their land.
no, no. Even at that time, they were tawny,
Well, yeah. You just showed us that
right?
yesterday, last night. You should put them pictures in the chat from yesterday, so they can see what you're talking about. But no, I was just like, okay, do y'all think it's logically possible for them to not have to cross the Atlantic and come over here and come down? Because like the guy Renee, he had land in Nova Scotia that he acquired from his dad. In the deed, not in the deed, but in the will or whatever. And he was he was basically doing Dutch I mean doing trade with the Dutch and the fur trapping or whatever. And like they said he was having some problems getting funding for his expedition. Like he kept having a whole bunch of false starts. And then like after a while he just started up he just did it on his own. So, coming from Europe, landing in Nova Scotia, what body of water is that in between the upper part of the United States and Europe? All of that shit ain't the Atlantic.
Yeah, it's still the Atlantic.
All right, so they just didn't come through the Middle Passage.
No,
Right.
they can, I'm saying the current. What was it?
This shit, you know.
They would have what they have to do. What they had to do, I guess. They said is go from England all the way down the coast, all the way down to Africa, right, and then use a current to come over,
Yeah.
right, and then they go
Uh-huh.
up coast, right,
Right.
because the current is a circular current, right?
hell of a night
but
question.
majority of the time, you would always hear they're leaving out of Nova Scotia.
Wait, say it again, bro.
I said with the current, you always hear the ships are always leaving out of Nova Scotia.
Okay. Well, I'm telling you that this guy went to Nova Scotia and
Yeah,
he
it's
was living there. He was
it's
living
way
there.
it's way closer. It's right beside Connecticut. It's like way closer than freaking. It's
Well, when you
close,
look
man.
at one of these fuck ass maps, like I'm looking at right now, ooh, they got a 1710 map, Ethiopia Ocean map. So it was called the Ethiopian Ocean.
That's right. The bird-headed people.
All right,
Hey yo,
because I'm on Wikipedia, y'all.
hey yo, man,
And
I'm over here nodding out, y'all. Man, I might have to shut it down
why you say that?
because I'm finna go to sleep.
True.
Unless y'all wanna rock all night.
Oh well, we just building amongst each other. You can take us off live.
Okay.
Yeah.
Peace, y'all, man. Peace to evil, man. We won't have you change your name, family. Peace to the people in the chat, man. We out here.
All right, peace, bro.
All right, peace,
I'm,
bro.
Peace.
Family, Alito.
yeah, Chief, what's up to Periscope, man? We out doing the live. But we gonna get back in. It's the bootleg Africans trying to sell us.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. I'm about to say
Shout out to Periscope,
Mm,
big Google to Periscope, big Google YouTube, Twitter, and everybody else listening live. Shout out to all the American Aborigines. Shout out to all the great ones that's listening on the